Hello, Dr. Joe here of the AskDrJoe.org and the 2020 from.com. So, winter is on the way. Winter is fast approaching. And as winter is coming, when it does arrive, that can only mean two things. The first is that we are going to be having overcast gray skies. That's almost guaranteed. And the second is that we will have the proliferation of those nasty airborne viruses. They're also guaranteed to be hanging around, waiting to get their paws, claws, and spikes on us. So, what should you do? Well, I'm going to make a suggestion to you guys, and I will encourage you to really do what I'm going to suggest in this very video. I believe that in every autumn or fall, we should all do this very test to know where we stand. Because why do we need to do this? Well, we have to build a wall of defense against those airborne viruses, okay? We've got to put up that wall of defense. And there's a particular nutrient that will help us accomplish that very objective. And, it is that nutrient that I believe we should all be testing at this time of the year to sort of prepare us for the winter season, going into spring as well. So, very, very important. And the reason you really want to do this test is because you want to know where you stand, whether you are deficient in the nutrient, whether you are insufficient in the nutrient, or whether you have optimal levels, because how you manage those three categories is totally different. So, it's good to know where you stand. So, what am I talking about? Let's have a look.
So, the nutrient in question here is vitamin D. Okay, vitamin D. And the next logical question is, how does your vitamin D levels, your current vitamin D levels, stack up? Okay. And, to interpret that, I have provided you here with an easy to understand table. So, on the left column here, this represents your vitamin D levels, okay, whatever results you get back. And the column to your right here will represent the interpretation of your results. So that is your vitamin D status. So here's how it works. If your results come back and there are 30 nanomoles per liter and below, you are considered vitamin D deficient. Okay, you're vitamin D deficient. Now, the next level is when your results come back and they're between 31 to 49 nanomoles per liter, then you are considered vitamin D insufficient. Okay, you are vitamin D insufficient if your levels fall between 31 to 49 nanomoles per liter. And of course, if your levels come back and they are between 50 to 125 nanomoles per liter, then you are considered vitamin D adequate. And this is where you want to be, okay, between 50 to 125. That's where you want to be. And of course, you can have toxic levels as well. So if your levels are over 125 nanomoles per liter, then they're considered too high, in which case you may want to really ease off on the vitamin D just a little bit. To bring your levels back to the normal range. So what I have done here, by the way, is color code the levels and the status for you. So 30 nanomoles per liter and below when you're deficient, I have color coded it red, and between 31 to 49 nanomoles per liter where you are insufficient, I've color coded it gray, so that's a gray area. And of course, between 50 to 125 nanomoles per liter where you are adequate, I've color coded it green. Okay, that's where you want to be. And above 125 nanomoles per liter is considered high. I made that black. So, when you finish watching this video, I want you to come back to this very table, take a screenshot of this and save it such that you can easily look at it and have a very nice interpretation of what your vitamin D levels actually represent.
And now it's time for me to share my personal result with you, such that you know that I have actually done the test myself, because if I'm asking you to do something, it makes sense that I do it as well. I always practice what I preach. So let's have a look at my result.
Okay, so here's my vitamin D level result. This slide here is just to show you that this result belongs to me. Okay, it belongs to me. So you can see my name there, Joseph Amagada. I've blacked out some sensitive information there, and also to show you the date and to let you know that it's quite current. So the blood was taken on the 7th of September 2023. And let's move on to the next slide where I actually show you my result. And here it is. You can see here total 25 hydroxy vitamin D level, 52 nanomole per liter. Yeah, 52 nanomole per liter. So as you can see here, I barely scraped through. Okay, I barely scraped through. And I understand why this is happening to me practically every year. In fact, last year it was worse. I tend to stop using vitamin D supplements by middle of May because I believe that I'm going to be getting my vitamin D from the sun during the summer months. But here's the thing, on the practical level, that doesn't happen because I'm working so hard indoors, I don't expose myself adequately to the sun during the summer months. So I end up with this kind of results, which is just okay because I barely scrape through. It was even worse last year when I was insufficient. Last year, my result was 30. So I've improved on it this year, at 52 nanomole per liter, which means I am now in the adequate zone. However, I can improve on this because my class teacher's report for this very result will be Dr. Joe must do better. Yes.
Okay, so now you are well aware of the different categories of the vitamin D levels. And like I said earlier in the video, you need to know where you stand, whether you are deficient, whether you are insufficient, or whether you have optimal levels, or whether you actually have too high levels. So you need to know where you stand because the management is different. Obviously, if you have very high levels, then you need to stop using any vitamin D supplementation. And if you are deficient or insufficient, you're going to need a higher dose to get your levels up to the optimal levels. And of course, if you have optimal levels, then you just need a maintenance dose to keep your levels right up there. Okay, so that's what you should do. See your doctor to get tested. Request to be tested. Here I am. I've just acquired my own vitamin D supplementation. My supplementation begins this very week, going into the winter now. So for me, given the fact that I've got, 52 levels there, and that means all I need is maintenance. That said, I think I'm going to need a little bit of a higher dose to get my levels up. I'd like to push mine to around about 80 nanomoles per liter there. That's where I'd like to be. So hopefully I will get there by December or January. So we'll see how things pan out. Okay, I want you to get tested so you know how much of this vitamin D supplement that you're going to need during the winter season. Okay, now I just shared my vitamin D results with you. In 7 days time, in a week's time, I'm going to be sharing with you my blood lipid results. Okay, the narrative is usually that carbohydrates are bad for cholesterol. So we're going to see how much damage me consuming lots of carbohydrates have done to my blood lipids. Okay, oh my God, am I going to regret using carbohydrates? Well, we will see. All of that is coming up in 7 days time. Until then, if you like this video, go ahead, please give it a thumbs up. Please like the video, and also please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. Share it with anybody who is in the northern hemisphere. Anyone who lives in the northern hemisphere needs to see this video because I want everyone to get tested for their vitamin D levels this very season. And if you've got any questions, any comments regarding the content of this very video presentation, go ahead, leave your comments or questions down below. Guess what? That's about it. But I'll see you in 7 days time when I'm going to be sharing my blood lipid profile with you. Until then, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.